These children were abused by foreign men via a web camera. These are the lucky ones. They were rescued. Undercover Asia follows the Philippine National Bureau of Investigation as they hunt down the perpetrators. Can they save the children of the cybersex dens?
Bukas. Ops. Okay na pa rin. Dahan. Don't go. You're surrounded. Okay, don't move, you're surrounded. We have 6 warrants for your arrest. Okay?
The National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, is an agency of the Philippine government responsible for cases that are in the interest of the nation.
What is your name? Your name?
The NBI Anti-Trafficking Department has worked on some of the most hideous and difficult child sex abuse crimes ever seen in the Philippines.
There was murder, rape, child abuse, cybersex.
For the anti-trafficking team, a really difficult part of the job is when they have to view child sex abuse images as part of an investigation.
Daisy Destruction is really the worst video ever produced involving a child because the child was tortured.
This video was filmed in the Philippines, uploaded and sold on the internet for tens of thousands of US dollars. The NBI described one of the acts in the video as unprecedented in the history of child abuse investigations.
It really broke my heart. Until now, if I can, whenever I recall the video, it's really terrible. Some of the agents were not able to watch the video in full because it's really, really horrible. And to those who watched the video, they cried. And as soon as I watched the video, the full video of the Daisy Destruction, I said to myself, we really have to arrest these perpetrators by hook or by crook.
Attorney Eric Nuki, known by all those who work with him as the Chief, heads up the anti-trafficking division of the NBI. In recent years, there has been a significant increase in cyber-sex crimes and offenses involving the internet. And the Chief's department has received specific instructions to intensify its focus on the area of cyber-sex dens, where children as young as a few months old are being sexually abused.
Cybersex then is basically an operation wherein the perpetrator uses the medium of the internet and the computers in perpetrating crimes involving human trafficking and cyber crimes which are being punished under our Philippine laws.
The Chief's team is a committed squad who work around the clock trying to rescue and reduce the prolific numbers of children being trafficked and sexually abused. Four hours northwest of Manila, in a small village an hour from the city of Olongapo, is Lanny's home. She is a survivor of cybersex.
My life is normal before napunta ako dun sa cybersex. My life is simple. I'm contented what I have. I'm happy with my family. Ano ba yun? Yung isang trabaho na hindi ko naman gusto or alam kung ano talaga yung gagawin ko.
Lani is now 19, but was a minor of 14 years old when she was forced into a cybersex den. She is one of 9 children who all live together with their parents. One day, a friend of her sister's promised her a job as a nanny in the city, where she could earn a good living.
Yun, dinala niya kami sa Olongapo. Pagdating namin doon, yun nga, gulat na gulat kami kasi, gulat na gulat ako kasi napakadaming babae. Yan, tas, ang liit lang ng bahay. I've seen many computers, then many girls on divided by the curtains. And then my pimp teach me how to operate the computer, give me some tips to how to seduce customers. Then she explained what I need to do. And then she gave me clothes, sexy dress. I can't sleep. I want to go home. I'm so very sad. The next day, and ginising niya ako, tas yun, nag-start na tinuruan na niya akong mag-show. Sometimes the customer nagutos na gawin mo yung ganito or himasin mo yung daddy mo. Ganun. For 1 month, I have 4,000 pesos. Then she only gave me 2,000.
2,000 pesos is $40. It was the NBI who rescued Lani from her cybersex den.
Pahiga na lang ako, tas biglang finorce nilang binuksan yung pinto. Tapos sinabi na huwag kaming gagalaw. Then, lahat kami umiyak na. Kasi lahat sila may baril. Yan.
Check, ready to check.
Nung una po, parang na-shock kami lahat kasi alam na po namin na wala naman kami ginagawang masama. Ganun. Tapos, nung pinaliwanag po sa amin ng mga pulis, yun. Parang unti-unti po naintindihan namin.
The team are all gathering for a briefing, as the chief has been passed intelligence from the US on a new child sex abuse case.
This case was initiated by the U.S. Homeland Security guys. Now, we have a very good working relationship with them. So, in this case, the U.S. Homeland Security agents posed as an online pedophile who is interested in viewing minors in various stages of undress and doing sexual acts and would pay for it. Luckily, these perpetrators that we have right now took the bait and offered the services of young children.
SI Marasigan, SI Claren, SI Liaño.
We have to meet up almost every day in order to find out the exact location where the cyber trafficking is being undertaken.
Their search has been narrowed down to an area in the city of Taguig, in the southeastern part of Metro Manila, which is a squatters' colony. And it's very difficult to pinpoint the exact house because they are unnumbered.
In this case, what we did is to conduct an entrapment and rescue operation. The perpetrator is asking for a payment of $240 in exchange for the performance of the victims. So as soon as he receives the confirmation that the money is already available, the undercover asked that the victims waive in the video camera just to be sure that the minors are already there.
Yeah, he's made contact and accordingly here.
So that is the cue that we are waiting for.
The chief has allocated a squad to this operation, and they are driving towards the targeted area, which is the most notorious squatters settlement in Metro Manila, with many drug dealers, so the team needs to watch their backs. There are 7 NBI vans in the convoy, and a team of 40 agents.
Ano yung cam, sir? Ano yung cam ng subject?
We have the exact address, and we are already morally certain that this individual is engaged in human trafficking activities.
The cybersex den they are heading towards could be any size. They can be a one-off operation run by a local person or a more sophisticated, large-scale crime syndicate. The squad don't know what to expect.
Ano yung cam ng subject, sir? Yung mga kasama na rin bata.
The squad's vehicles are now lined up with the lead team up front. The chief is waiting for the undercover agent to give him the cue that the children are waving at the camera.
The perpetrator here promised that the victims would engage in sexual acts. 5 of the victims are already inside the house and are waiting for the cue from the undercover for them to perform.
Ayun na, sir. Nag-wave na yung mga bata.
Roll.
Kami inside.
Pare baka mag-collapse yung bahay, baka pwede magbawas muna tayo ng bawas muna tayo. Nararamdaman ko na yung ano eh. Ilalabas naman natin, lalabas naman natin. Para dito tayo.
Mamaya na yung local. Let's go there.
Excuse me, lalabas natin, lalabas bahay. Lulundo na yung bahay.
Si Wagwag, baka mamatay yung ano. Kasi kayo yung
Antayin lang natin yung shelter.
One woman has been handcuffed.
Takpan na mukha ng mga bata. Takpan na mukha. Sige. Kawawa naman, nalilit na bata. Samahan nyo. Yung mga babae, asan ba yung mga babae?
Biktima ng cybersex. Biktima ng cybersex.
Tawagan mo sa mama mo.
Babalik kayo, babalik. Babalik din kayo, babalik din kayo. Kakausapin lang kayo. Hindi kayo maano, ha? Huwag kayo matakot. Kakausapin lang kayo. Punta kayo maya.
Whilst one den has been shut down today, another one will pop up somewhere else. The children will be taken in by the social welfare department and then questioned. The vast majority of child cybersex workers have not been abducted. They usually know the adult forcing them to perform live sex shows. For these children, it seems that family members might be involved. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security's investigative team collaborates with the Philippine National Bureau of Investigation to solve cybercrimes and to entrap online predators who sexually abuse children.
I gotta tip my hat to these guys. I mean,
to be able to find this.
To be able to find this.
Yeah,
that's tricky.
Yeah, and how do you get back in here without taking a burn? Because everybody that lives here knows everybody. You know, anybody that comes in here, you know, is a stranger. It doesn't matter, you know, if you're Filipino or not. So to be able to find this, you know, awesome job.
Camera and wave market. This is their source of livelihood.
Yeah.
What's very alarming is the school teachers here know that
they know?
Children, the children confide to them,
and they do nothing.
And that's they usually report this to us, but the problem is when you talk to the children,
they only tell the teachers, but not the authorities. Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
The NBI bag up the evidence inside the house.
We're looking for pieces of evidence which would prove transactions between the clients or the customers and the perpetrators.
Sweets are used to bribe the children. This small side area of the house is where the children and the computer were hidden away.
Ano role mo sa mga tatay ko yung nagtuturo?
Hindi po. Kasi yung bata po na baby ko, pinadede ko po dito.
Doon sa apat na nakuha, ilan yung anak mo doon?
Isa lang po. Tatlo po nga po anak.
5, 7, 10. Yung 7 nasaan?
Andun po. Nagagalaw.
Wala rito kanina.
Bakit nagsa-cybersex mo yung mga bata dito? May ganun ba?
Tinawag lang din nga po ako eh.
Binago mo na statement mo.
Hindi po, talaga po, dito nga po ako nakatira. Nasa labas po ako.
A homemade fake gun is found in the house, and the chief says it was likely to be used to frighten or threaten the children.
Tapos itong bibigay ng pressure ito sa ano.
Kasi ito yung gatilyo niya eh.
Oo.
Tama.
What was that one? My bird sir?
This one, ma'am.
Amongst the evidence being gathered, there are sex toys and a webcam.
Nandito kami para magtrabaho. Sumama ka sa amin.
Hindi po! Diyan anak ko maliit! Papayag ba naman akong nanay?
Relax ka na.
Yung mga bata, sino ang mga magulang na? Alam ba nila? O baka ikaw, niloloko mo lang yung mga bata?
Hindi po alam ng mga magulang.
Sigurado ka? Para hindi ikaw ang maano.
Hindi nga po. Hindi po nila alam.
Ha?
Hindi po nila kasi alam. Hindi ko rin po kasi yung computer eh.
Ha? Saan yung computer yan?
Dito po sa nakatira.
Eh bakit may mga pictures ng nakaupo?
Hindi po nga akin itong bahay. Tinawag lang din ho ako kasi dito ako natira eh.
Okay, nasan yung
Tumakbo po.
Paano nakatakbo?
Kasi po tumatawag nga po siya ng bata eh. Tapos ako lang po yung pinasok. Hindi ko nga ako alam bakit ako nahuhuli.
Okay. Marami resibo.
Marami. Pati yung
Proper marking
email
tayo.
accounts niya sa tracking number ng pera pa din.
Many of the receipts found next to the computer are from male customers overseas. The payments are made through money transferring agencies like Western Union.
Some of the receipts would indicate the sender's location.
Nakita mo yung gaano kadami yung resibo?
Ay, gusto mo, boss.
Ay, ang dami. Kaya, gusto sabihin, sobrang tagal na.
Tagal na talaga.
Saan naman, sino bang magulang na matutuwa?
Pasasamahan kita sa anak mo. Pasasamahan kita sa anak mo kung kumalma ka lang.
Hindi po. Ay! Butang
Tara! Tara! Sama ka sa opisina! Sama ka sa opisina! Parang...
Saway ka eh.
Kumama ka.
paano ba
Kumama ka!
Eh, bakit sa amin galit, hindi sa'yo?
Hindi naman po niya alam kung ano eh. Kung nag-show din po ako niya kasi dito nga lang po ako napatira eh.
Usually, may mga nakahubungan din.
Hindi nga po ako yung nag-picture nun. Kahit makikita niyo yung mga ID niya, siya yan, nandiyan siya. Wala ho akong gamit ng isang piraso dyan. Collar niya ho yun.
Caller, siya yung
Siya po
nakipag-transact doon sa foreigner.
Kanya rin po yung escape eh.
It appears that a key perpetrator was not at the house at the time of the raid.
Lagyan mo na kaya ng pangalan mo na rin sa baba.
The handcuffed woman is escorted from the premises. A teenage girl arrives carrying a baby, which she is saying belongs to the arrested woman. It appears she is the mother and needs to breastfeed her baby. 5 children were rescued in this raid, and 1 potential perpetrator arrested, with 1 other possible perpetrator who it seems left the premises before the NBI arrived. Apparently, she went to find more children for the live sex show.
There is really quite a massive demand from pedophiles all around the world. You could just see from the receipts that we were able to recover from the crime scenes that human trafficking operations and perpetrators who are looking for young minors performing online is happening all over the world.
A child can earn more in one day's webcam sex work than the parents earn collectively in a week. Webcam sex performance in some poor communities is so frequent, it is a normalized means for young girls and boys to make money. The Philippines is a strict Catholic country that strongly discourages birth control, and many impoverished parents have to look after large families. Lani helps to look after her 8 brothers and sisters. She has met up with 2 of her friends from neighboring villages. Both of them had also been lured into cybersex dens with the promise of good jobs. and then forced to perform sex shows on camera.
Ano yung mga naging customer natin? Di ba mga...
Kadalasan Pinoy.
Pinoy.
Mga nasa ibang bansa. Mga naka-abroad. O kaya mga Arabo, ganyan.
Afghanistan. Mga ganun. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Indian.
Australian.
Pang Hawaii.
Ako naman personally, tingin ko sa kanila. Kasi di ba malayo sila? Usually yung mga Pinoy. Parang, or sa ibang bansa, di ba bawal yung mga nagikiapid, mga ganun.
Lalo na sa...
So, para easy way, or para ano nila yung pangangailangan nila, parang, ayun, makakita ka lang, di ba? Parang ganun na.
These girls are all survivors of sex abuse. They live in a girls' shelter supported by the Preda Foundation that was set up over 40 years ago and specializes in saving children from abuse, prison, and exploitation.
All of these young children, you know, that we are saving and rescuing in our children's homes, we call them the throwaway children. They are discarded, just like plastic and garbage, you know, is thrown out, you know, in the materialistic world. It's so materialistic, they don't seem to care for the emotions and feelings of human persons.
Sex abuse of children is on the rise in the Philippines, and Preda actively helps law enforcement agencies in the detection, arrest, and criminal prosecution of those involved in these crimes.
This is the big thing. There has been a sort of a general acceptance that this is just okay, you can do sexual acts against young girls and children, and it's just normal. But the normalization of even cybersex, where people get online, they get connected, and they start doing this is just horrific. So this is why we need law enforcement of the first degree. Our little girl, only 14 years old, and she has a baby. She was abused from 11 years old by her own father. It's taken a long time for her to be able to cope with this shocking reality. She had to have a cesarean. No, she's only a small girl, had to deliver this baby alive. She's a loving girl. I mean, she's just fantastic. She's breastfeeding her baby. The resilience is there, and so we emphasize the goodness of the children. And each one, as you can see, would be more deeply affected and recover quicker or slower, depending on the extent of the abuse.
The arrested woman has now been joined in the NBI offices by 2 women and a young man. They are all asking to see the child victims taken from the raided house by the NBI agents.
Because they are victims, we consider them victims of human trafficking. And as of now, you are under investigation. We consider you as suspects. So we separate you and your grandchildren. No talk.
Based on our investigation, it appears that this is a family business, this human trafficking activity, because the main perpetrator here is the mother of one of the victims. And the other 2 ladies is the mother of the main perpetrator and the mother-in-law of the brother of this main perpetrator. So they are all related by blood and by affinity. as soon as all the evidence are collated and the documents are completed, we're recommending for the prosecution of all the arrested persons.
The three women have been sitting here for over 24 hours now. They are waiting whilst the evidence is gathered and passed to the Department of Justice.
Ganon. Ang inaano ko lang po, ito, may uwi na po kasi wala naman po itong mga damit eh. Kasi po, kaya nga po nandito mama ko para kuhain itong bata. Dahil wala nga po siyang pampers eh. Eh ngayon po, kukuhain na po ni mama ko to. Hindi naman po siya makalabas kasi sabi po, nadamay na po daw siya. Eh wala naman po kasi alam yan eh.
Ayoko ng ganitong buhay. Mahirap lang kami. Isang hamak lang akong labandera. Pero ginapos ko mga anak ko. Pero hindi ko alam talaga ang nangyayari sa amin buhay. Hindi ko po matanggap. Pumunta ko dito para kunin ko ang apo ko. Ako mag-aalaga sa kanya kung sakaling makulong ang anak ko. Hindi na mag-aalaga ang apo ko. Kung kami pare-parehong makulong, sana maunawaan niyo po kami. Humingi kami ng tulong. Yun lang po, wala na po.
The key suspect talks about the woman who owns the house she was arrested in.
Basta po, sabi niya sa akin, umupo ka dyan, magkakapera ka dyan. Kasi ginamit niya po yung pangalan ko, tinatawag niya po ako. Pinaupo niya po ako sa sarili niyang computer. Yun na rin na po pinabahay. Yun po, sabi ko, paano to? Anong gagawin natin dito? May mga bata dito. Sabi niya, hindi, mag-wave lang yan. Tapos po, sabihin niya, oh, ganito sasabihin mo. Sinasabi ko rin, ma'am, siyempre po, ako po yung nasa camera na harapan. Ako po talaga nadidiin. Kasi po yun, yung kanuna po yun, hindi po siya nagpapakita. Ako lang po lagi niya pinapakita. Hindi ko po talaga ginagamit yung bata dun sa computer.
During the raid, a laptop was seized from the house, bagged up and taken to the NBI offices for analysis. The chief has now seen abuse images on the laptop.
All sort of sexual acts, actually. They were able to partner with minor children as well in order to perform sexual acts, even minor boys as their partners. And there are actual penetrations that happened during those transactions with foreigners. So the statements made by the perpetrators that they are just sort of acting and there's no actual penetration is not true. It's entirely a lie, because we found out through the videos and the actual statements made by the victims that actual sexual intercourse occurs during these transactions.
The 5 children rescued were aged 9, 3 10-year-olds and a 12-year-old. 2 of the victims are the daughters of 2 of the accused women. The other 3 children are from the local neighborhood. It has been confirmed that there are more than just the 5 children involved in this cybersex den.
Around minimum of 50 children and maximum around 70 to 80. Yeah, 80 more. Minor children, of course. We have yet to determine the identities of the other victims whose pictures appeared in the computers of the persons arrested. And there are at least around 100 pictures of victims and several videos of minor victims being sexually abused. The magnitude of the operation is big. So possible investigation and another follow-up operation will be conducted soon.
You can see the great inequality all the time between the rich and the poor. This is really what's causing this cybersex, this terrible crime against children. Because people are hungry, they do this, I'm sad to say. The customers are abroad with the big money in the United States, America, Australia, UK. They're all out there just waiting to get online and do it from their own home. The crime is not just one act. The children don't know that their images are being beamed all over the world and put up on Facebook, and this goes on, and they're victimized every day. Their images are out there, and people are doing very bad acts to other children because of it.
The three related women are being accused of human trafficking, of child abuse, of violation of the Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009 and of the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012.
Most of the barangay people who are staying there knows of the operation and accept it as part of their lives. So that's how big the operation is.
So, kailangan makipag-cooperate
We don't think that with the evidence at hand, they will be granted bail. I think they will stay in jail for good. We have already talked with our counterparts, as well as with the other nationalities, other foreign counterparts. The Homeland Security guys will be given the copy of the receipts that were paid by the pedophiles, as well as the other nationalities. So we're going to share it with our counterparts.
The overseas pedophiles will be investigated within their own countries, and the arrested women have been sent to the NBI detention center.
I am pretty certain that our recommendation for the filing of a qualified human trafficking will be upheld by the investigating prosecutor, and the penalty for this is life imprisonment. No bail will, there's no bail for these charges.
The Preda home for girls has been a sanctuary to Lani and to many, many other sexually abused children during their recovery period. It is because of the help Lani received as a survivor that she is able to speak out about her abuse.
Tapos pagpasok mo, ito yung room.
Lani describes the layout of her cubicle. In the cybersex den, she was held in against her will and forced to perform sex acts.
Dito yung mga computers. Yung mga computers. 10, nakaganon sila. Yan dito, ganon. Tapos may sabitan ng cortina. Tapos sasara mo. Yan, yan. Tapos dito naman banda, ito yung bed. Ito, dalawa. May cortina din sila. Pwede mo silang sarado.
There's a curtain in the double deck.
Yes. Yan. Tapos, dito ako nakaupo. Ito yung computer ko. Tapos, pag nag-show ako, sinasarado ko ng curtain ko. Yan. Nung sinabi po ng Preda na tutulungan nila kami, masaya po ako kasi may mga tao pang sumagip sa amin. Yung naisip ko po, mag-aaral po ako. Gagawin ko lahat ng makakaya ko para hindi masayang yung tulong na binigay nila. Kung ano dapat yung ginagawa ng mga bata, tinuro din nila sa akin kung paano magkaroon ng masayang-masayang pamilya. Kailangan nilang idamay yung mga bata.
Yung mas mahirap doon, yun yan. Hindi natin.
Lani asks her friends what they think should happen to the perpetrators of child sex abuse.
Punishment sa kanila, dapat ipataw sa kanila.
Oo.
Lifetime imprisonment.
Lifetime? Galit na ba yan? Wala siyang punishment eh, kasi hindi naman natin sila kilala. Parang pigilan na lang yung pagdami ng cybersex or talagang dapat na siyang matanggal. Dapat na siyang tutukan, dapat na siyang, dapat agad-agad nang magawa ng paraan para mawala na yung cybersex. To stop. Stop cybersex.
Here in the Philippines, the cybersex business is worth around $1 billion. The accused women were moved to the NBI detention center once the evidence had been submitted to the courts.
Hindi ng mga bata, wala kami dyan sa video na sinasabi nila. Hindi kami kasali sa video na sinasabi nila. Yun lang ang aking masasabi.
Tinatanong nila kung ano masasabi niyo doon. Sa sinasabi na
Ganito lang po, ha?
They can say nothing about what the children are saying in their statement. Pwede kang makulong ng habang buhay.
Yan ko lang po nalaman.
It's only now that she knew.
Yan ko lang po nalaman. Kasi ako ba naman, iluluklok ko naman yung mga anak ko. Siyempre, hindi ho. Kaya nga ako gusto magkapera. Dahil sa pamilya ko, hindi naman sinabi na magpakulong ako rito. Siyempre, hindi ho. Lahat naman tayo may asawa at anak. Kaya nga rin tayo naghanap ng pera para sa pamilya. Hindi para ipakulong yung sarili. Tsaka yung mga anak ko masira ang buhay. Yun po.
The children revealed that in that place where they are staying, there were several cyber trafficking operations ongoing. They also stated in categorical terms the involvement of their parents, their grandparents, and other relatives in the cyber trafficking operations. So we found out that this is actually a family operation. It is a means to support the family as a means of livelihood. You can't help it but feel for the perpetrator because you would see how poverty had affected her and how simple her house is. It's very small and it's a rundown place, and when you interview her or ask her questions, she would reason out that she was only doing this to support her family. And you know that it's the truth. But you just have to do your job. And in this job, you can't help it but really feel, even for the perpetrators, because they are also Filipino. And they really wanted just to support their family.
I really have to send a message to anyone who's planning or thinking about getting online and trying to contact anybody around the world to sell them images of children doing sex acts, that one day they'll be caught. We are doing everything every day, 24 hours a day. Our advocacy is supporting law enforcement in all European and North American and Australian and in Asia. So they will be tracked and they'll end up in prison. And I just have to emphasize all the more the governments of these countries, they've got to triple their funding for these cybersex investigators in their country. It's a horrific crime against children, and if you're a civilized nation, you better be going after these criminals in your population.
Within Preda, there is a recovery area for the sexually abused children. It is the Emotional Expression Therapy Room. With cybercrime on the increase, Preda is receiving more and more children in need of support and counseling. There are said to be 100,000 children performing sex acts across the Philippines for pedophiles.
we're shocked when we see the emotional expression therapy and the children screaming and shouting and they see, but for me, that's a healing process. I'm not shocked. I say, good, you know, it's getting it out. You're removing the poison from their system. They'll become more normal and natural. So I see that I'm not shocked anymore. I've seen this so many times, but the child who cannot cry, that's the danger.